Hello. So, it's a bit of a strength class. I'm going to turn off that heater because it's loud. I've got a variety of weights next to me, threes, fives, eights, and tens. So I think I'm going to probably end up using the fives and the eights today. We're going to do some functional strengthening stuff for the arms and the legs and some floor work. We're going to start down on the mat today. I just have a rug here. I don't have a mat, so you should use whatever you need underneath you. See, that was loud. And make any changes that you need to make because you're super smart. You know when something's not right. I'm going to start on my hands and knees. I like to do this just because it's nice to warm up the spine and the wrists and the hips, okay? So see if you can get your hands underneath your shoulders, walk them in, spread your fingers apart, and lift the chest away from the floor. See if you can keep your head kind of lifted in line with your spine here for a moment. Shoulders are going to come away from the ears so the neck just feels really nice and long. And I'm just going to start with a nice easy rock here, back and forward and back and forward. Adjust your parts if you need to. This is just a really nice way to warm up a whole bunch of things in a kind of a passive way. Wrists, abdominals even. Take some nice deep breaths. You can either keep your feet like mine are, or you can curl forward. That'll give you maybe like a little bit of a stretch through the toes. I've got sneakers on today. Sneakers are optional. I'm going to do 10 more. I always kind of imagine like gravity pulls me up away from the floor. And I feel like I say this all the time. It's like boring to keep saying it, but rocking is just one of these movements that we did when we were small humans. This seems like a silly movement that would be a useful warm-up. But this was like the movement that was the precursor to crawling and walking. And I think it's a lot more valuable than we realize. I'm just gonna do two more here. 2 and 1. And then I'm gonna come forward and I'm gonna round through my whole spine, starting with my tailbone. So the tailbone curls under and I'm gonna round through piece by piece until the head comes down. Flexion of the spine, draw the abdominals in and take a breath. And then I'm going to start with the tail and unround myself. And then the head will be the last thing and I'll look straight ahead. Extension of the spine and arched back. Take a breath. And again, starting with the pelvis, roll through. Head is the last thing down. And start with the pelvis, and then the head is the last thing up. Look up. And now we're going to start with the head, and the tail will be the last thing, so pay attention to that. Head first, round. Round through the upper spine, the middle spine, the lower spine, and then the pelvis. It's not easy to do that. We're going to start with the head again to move into the arch. Head first, upper spine. Truly try and isolate it. Think about it moving down through your spine, all the way through to the pelvis. And we're going to do this one more time, rounding from the head to the tail. Head first, upper spine, middle spine, low spine. Deep breath. And then last one here, head first. Not the pelvis yet, not the pelvis yet, not the pelvis yet. And then finally, arched back. And then we're going to come back to this neutral shape here. And just for a moment, I'm going to sit back and give my wrist just a little bit of a break. If you'd like, you can do that. Maybe make a fist and twirl. And then we're going to come back one more time here. So hands under shoulders again, knees under hips. This time, we're gonna pretend like we're doing a plank here. Of course, we're not just yet, but if you were, your belly would be pulled in. You'd be doing lots of work with the arms to keep yourself situated. And we're gonna start by doing a one leg plank with the intention as if we were gonna bring that second leg out. So extend one leg and imagine that you're about to pick up that second leg. So you're doing lots of work to brace yourself for this position. And then you pull that leg down and you switch over to the other side. One leg plank, like as if you were about to pick up that second leg. And I want you to go back and forth, one leg at a time. Just again, thinking about how much work you have to do to be able to bring that second leg out. And continue one leg. Pay attention to what your elbows are doing. A lot of people kind of do like funky things with their arms and their head. Stay nice and organized as you bring that one leg out at a time. I like to reach the leg out and kind of flex the foot a little bit and energize that foot by pushing into the ground. We're gonna do one more each way here. And other side. And here's your option to either do a modified plank or a plank where both legs are lifted. Push through the feet, lift through your abdominals, energy through all the parts of the body. Take a nice deep breath. And then carefully bring the knees down. I'm going to uncurl my toes, sit back, head heavy, big exhale. We're going to do this 2 more times. Adjust your plank as you need to. And just a quick note, you can do a plank against the wall. There's no reason why you have to be down on the floor. Just adjusting your body so you're in this position, and then you can play around with gravity by coming to a table or the wall or a chair. It doesn't have to be down on the floor. So we're going to try this again, extending one leg out, lots of energy, and then the second leg out. It's just like a little bit of a tuck through the pelvis so you can draw your abdominals in. And another deep breath here. And then carefully bring the knees down. Uncurl the toes. Big stretch, heavy head. And then we've got one more here. Shifting forward. Hands under shoulders. One leg out. Second leg out. Energy through the feet. And breathe here, 2 deep exhales. One more. Soften the knees. Uncurl the toes, sit back, heavy head, deep breath. And then come forward again to hands and knees. Okay, from here, I'm going to come down onto my side. I'm going to come onto my right side first. And I'm going to bring my elbow underneath my shoulder and my knees back. So upper body and thighs are almost in a straight line, of course not perfectly. So this is just to wake up the obliques and the side body. I like to put my palm flat into the mat and push the ground away with my elbow, and then lift my hips, trying to stay connected through the bottom shoulder. So plug that shoulder into your back. You can bring this top arm up. Lower the hips, and then come on back up. This can be a lot of tension for my neck and shoulders. One like quick little adjustment makes a big difference. Just gently pulling my chin in toward my throat. It does something to the alignment of my neck. It helps a little bit. So if you have tension in your neck and your shoulders, adjust how your head is. Try that. Hips are coming up. We're just doing 2 more here. Breathe. And down one more time here. Relax your jaw. Take a breath. And then come all the way down. Okay, from here, I'm gonna flip over so my hands are just behind me. This is like a little bit of a 360 warm up. Fingertips are wide here. Play around with what direction your hands are facing. Maybe they're facing back, maybe to the sides, maybe even forward. Mine are gonna go right out east and west. Feet are about hip distant. Before you begin, push the ground away and lift your chest. Just to activate sort of the thoracic spine, take a nice deep breath. Push through the feet, and then lift and lower your hips. So just a quick note here, those of you with really tight muscles across the chest, this can be very challenging because your shoulders don't want to do this. So be patient with yourself here. This is a good exercise for mobility of the shoulders. And you can slowly keep lifting your hips higher and higher. I prefer to keep my eyes and my head forward. But some people like to do like a full head back thing. I just don't really like how that feels. I'm gonna do 3 more here. Please breathe. 2 more. And 1. And then lower down. And then we're gonna do the left side, that sort of modified side plank type thing to wake up the obliques. So see if you can get your left elbow under your left shoulder and then really kind of push the floor away with your forearm and your elbow. That's going to turn on the lat back here. And try and get your chest and your abdominals and your hips forward. You're kind of in a straight-ish line here. Chin in just a little bit, take a nice deep breath, and hips up. And lower down. Just go at your own pace here and breathe. Make any adjustments that are obvious to you to make. And down. We're doing 4 more. And 3. And 2. 1 more time. And then come all the way down. Okay, one more thing here. We already did a nice warm up for the spine, but let's come onto our abdominals and just lie flat. And you can bring your arms by your sides with your palms down and your forehead down onto the mat. Forehead down. Take a nice deep breath here and just really fill your waist up with air. Inhale into your ribs, your belly, your back. Try and fill your whole waist up. And then as you exhale the air, slowly follow that breath out until it feels like your lungs are pretty much empty. And see if you can give me 1 more of those really deep lateral waist breaths. The next time you inhale, lift your head and your chest slightly, and then start to lift the arms and reach back. And then continue to reach back through the fingers as you lift your head and your chest to look forward. Emphasize using the front third of your spine, not just lifting and dumping all this energy into the low back. Imagine you're curling up and into that arched shape through the front third of your spine, and then come all the way back down. Relax for a minute, take a breath, a nice deep breath, either forehead down or head to the side. And then again with your next inhale, lift the head and the chest slightly, and then start to lift the arms, and then continue as you emphasize curling up with the top third of your spine. Pressing the pubic bone down, gently drawing the abdominals in. Don't come up so high that you can't lengthen forward. I'd rather you come down 1/4 of an inch and then reach longer forward and back through the fingers. And then come all the way down. Switch which side you're looking if you are putting your head to the side. Take a nice deep breath, lateral waist breath. And then one more here. Deep inhale, start to come up. If it feels intuitive to float the legs off the mat, great. Hold here for a moment. Bring the arms wide like you're an airplane. And then back by your sides. Breathe wide like you're an airplane. And back by your sides. One more. Wide and back. Bring your hands under your shoulders. And let's sit back to stretch out the lumbar spine, letting your head be heavy. And take an inhale, exhale. Good. Let's come onto the hands and knees just one more time. The only thing that we haven't done for the spine is a twist. You can bring your knees a hair wider than your hips and your hands a hair more narrow than your shoulders. Wide knees, narrow hands. And I'm going to start to bring one elbow up and twist in that direction. As I come up, I'm going to follow my eyes to my elbow. And I'll switch to the other side. A nice easy twist. Don't force mobility of the spine, especially if you're somebody who has discomfort in their back. You just can't force this stuff. You've got to breathe and let it take its time. Mobility usually starts to happen over time. Let's do one more each way. Let's do one more with straight arms. And other one. Good. And then come all the way down. Okay, so now I'm gonna grab my weights. We're gonna come down onto the mat and do some arm work here and core work. I'm gonna grab my 5s and my 8s. You're gonna grab weights that you feel like are appropriate for you to use with your hands. Use your abdominals, picking up weights are awkward, okay? Let me take a quick sip of water. Okay, the other thing I like to do is position the weights just close enough so I could easily grab them. I like to put them right on one side. So I'm going to put my 8s on one side and my 5s on the other side, just so it's super easy for me to roll to the side and grab them after I have myself situated on the mat, okay? On the rug. Okay, so we're coming all the way down. When you come on down, you can just give yourself a little hug. Hands to shins, and then rock right and left. Deep inhale, exhale, easy neck, and then come back to the center, and you just bring your feet down. So I'm going to start with my 5s here. I like to roll to my side, draw the abdominals in, and just safely grab the weights over there on the side with both hands, okay? And then elbows right by your sides. Get your feet and your knees kind of situated so you're just in a comfortable position with your knees bent, maybe about hip distant. And just let your arms be along by your sides and your shoulders start from that good kind of plugged in place. So your shoulders aren't way up by your ears. And this is just a simple reach up to the ceiling while you hold your weights. Just hold them here when you get them up towards the ceiling and have a peek at your wrists. Each time you extend your arms, a lot of people just forget that the wrists are part of the arms too. So I like to think knuckles to the ceiling, wrists long, and that's an opportunity to work the strength in the wrist. Elbows down, and then right back up, knuckles up, wrists long. This is a simple little movement here. This weight is very attainable for me, so start somewhere that seems attainable. All of these are also an opportunity for you to think about your breathing and your abdominals, so you can tie it all in. And I'm just going to do 5 more here. And 4. And 3. And 2. One more. And then down, okay? Elbows are right in by my ribs. I'm going to slowly lower and tap the weights down and then come right back up. Slowly lower, tap, and right back up. Resist the weights on the way down, tap, and return. I'm going to do 4 more here. 4, and up, and 3, and 2, 1 more. And we're going to put the last 2 exercises together. So extend, return, extend, return, extend, return, extend, return. Keep going here. One of the things I like about this little series and using the floor when I'm doing arm exercises is it helps to create length in the spine. And you can keep your shoulder girdle nice and stable as you move through the arm exercise. It's supportive and challenging at the same time. Let's do 2 more here. And then 1 more time. And then come all the way down and then back down to the floor. And I always just like to give my hands just a quick little break. You can just rest your hands on top of the weights and just wiggle your fingers, relax your wrists for just a sec, okay? And then come on back when you're ready. Before we move through the next little series, just a quick abdominal check-in here. One leg is going to come up to tabletop. Just a quick tuning in to what your abdominals are doing. Pull them in gently towards the floor. You don't have to jam your back towards the floor, but engage. And then bring the opposite leg up as well. And then the first leg slowly goes down as you stay as engaged as you can. And then back down with the second leg. One leg at a time. Up, up, down, and down. Keeping your midsection nice and still and engaged takes a simple little movement like this and makes it pretty challenging, in my opinion. And down. We're doing 1 more each way. Up, and up, down, and down. And then you can just put your feet nice and flat again, okay? So this next little bit, you can start by bending and coming up, and then extending the arms towards the ceiling. So 2 moves here. Turning your palms straight ahead. Elbows come out to the sides, and then re-extend. So basically what we did before, bending and re-extending. This time the elbows go east and west, out, and up, and 6, and 5. Continue to tune into the abdominals here, and 4, 3, 2, 1 more, and then we're coming up and holding. Palms face one another again, and you can soften your elbows a little bit east and west. And now the arms go away from one another in this shape, and then they return. So just a soft elbow, open as wide as you feel like you should today, and then come on back. And we're gonna do 6 more here. 6, and 5, and 4, and 3, and 2. Last one. And then come up, and then we're going to straighten the arms and come back down for just a second. Relax your wrist. We're going to put these 2 exercises together just like we did the last set. So come back up towards the ceiling with your palms facing forward. Elbows bend east and west, out, come up, and then you rotate through your palms, soft elbows wide and back. Rotate forward, bend, extend, rotate in, out, and up. Rotate forward, bend, and up. Rotate in, open, and close. Rotate forward, east and west, open, and close. One more each way. Elbows tap, return, and wide, and come back up. Bend, come all the way down, and just release the weights, wiggle your fingers, move your wrist around. This time we're gonna rest the hands right on top of the weights. I know everything I'm wearing is black right now. I'm just standing the weights up by my sides. I hope you can see that. For this one, you can reach your weights long so your arms are extended and your elbows are already lifted off the mat, and then reach through your fingertips straight ahead. So these are like super long arms by your side. We're gonna practice curling forward. As you do, you're just gently pressing down into the weights with your palms. So take a nice deep breath here, and then reach through the fingers, bring the chin toward the throat. The weights will move. And then go back down. As you curl forward, the weights just gently tip forward. Exhale as you curl. Inhale, return. Inhale, return. Gently bring your chin in toward your throat, but keep a little space between the two. And then relax. We're gonna do 4 more. And 3. And 2. One more time. And then come all the way down, okay? I'm gonna grab these weights again, and we're gonna do 2 more exercises here. Bend, and then extend the arms straight up. For this next one, I'm gonna bring my weights together. Please don't drop the weights on your face. And a tricep exercise, 2 ways. I'm gonna bend and go all the way down, perhaps to the mat, maybe a tap behind your head, and then all the way up. Full range of motion is the first one. We're gonna do 8 more. 8, abdominals are in. 7, 6, 5, 4, and 3, 2, last one. Hold there, shoulders away from the ears. This next one is just going to be halfway down, little pulse. So bend, stop about halfway down, little pulse here. 10, 9, 8, 7. Try and get your elbows right above your shoulder. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, come all the way up, all the way down. Take a quick breath, wiggle your fingers, relax your parts, take an inhale, exhale. And yes, we're gonna put these 2 together as well. Arms by your sides, bend, extend, put the weights together. We'll do full range of motion and then 2 pulses in between, okay? So arms are straight up from your shoulders, belly button is in. Bend, extend, go halfway down, pulse 1, 2, come all the way up, all the way down, come up halfway, pulse 1, 2, come all the way up, all the way down, come up halfway, pulse 1 and 2, come all the way up, all the way down, come up halfway, pulse 1, and last one here, all the way up, all the way down, come up halfway, pulse 1, and all the way up, all the way down, weights by your sides. Put your hands back on top of those weights like we did. And we're gonna put the last 2 abdominal exercises together. So it was a curl forward, and then the one before that, legs were up, and we tap one down, and then the opposite one down. This is how we're gonna put them together. Legs are in tabletop. Bring your knees over your belly button so you could start engage through your abdominals. The first part is the curl forward with the upper body. Fingertips forward. Bring your chin gently in towards your chest as you curl forward with an exhale. And then come back down. One tap of a heel and return other tap of a heel. And again, curl up. And down, heel, heel. Again, curl forward. And down, heel, heel. One more of these. And down, heel, and heel. Come all the way up, and you can rest your feet down. Okay, for now, put your weights to the side where you got them, out of the way. Bring your arms wide, east and west, maybe slightly below the line of your shoulders. Bring your knees over to one side and look to the opposite side. Just give yourself a quick spine stretch here. 3 deep exhales. And then you can carefully come through the center, over to the other side. Knees one way, eyes the other. Breathe. Okay, we're going to come back to the center, and we're going to come over onto our side body. Quick little side body thing. I'm going to grab this one of these fives again for this next bit. We're going to do 2 little movements here. One of them is a side lying movement, and I'm going to grab this 5 here for a little bit of rotator work. Quick spine check in here. See if you can pretend like you're against a wall. So pull your head, your back, your tail back as if you were just right up against a wall. And also just a quick note, if you have any scar tissue or weird stuff going on your shoulder, this is a great exercise to practice without adding any weight at all. So don't feel like you have to load up for this one. Hold on to your weight in front of you if you're choosing to use it. Draw the abdominals in. P.S. Imagine you're lifting your ribs away from the floor, just so you can stay a little bit more engaged. And we're gonna do 6 here. 6 and 5 and 4 and 3, 2 and 1, and then come all the way down. I'm going to take this weight and I'm going to carefully put it behind my top knee. This is kind of awkward, okay, so just kind of proceed with caution. And then I'm going to take this top hand, I'm going to do something with it, maybe just keep it on my hip. And just a quick PS, lift your ribs away from the floor. They don't have to leave the floor, but just pretend like you want them to. And I'm going to keep my pelvis nice and still, but the top leg is going to go up and down. So pelvis is really super still. We're just isolating the top leg for 6 more here. 6 and 5. Gently press your bottom leg down. 4 and 3 and 2. Last one. Come all the way down and grab your weight. We're going to do 2 more sets of each of these, okay? Pull your abdominals in and another set here. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then I'm going to grab my weight, put it behind my knee, and I'm just going to get myself engaged through my midsection. Top hip is nice and still, and only the top leg is moving. Up and down. Gently press that bottom leg down. 6 and 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then come all the way down. One more set of each. Belly button is in, and 6, 5, 4. These are getting hard. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, that was definitely my last one. And now I'm going to do my last set here, right behind the knee. Get those ribs lifted a little bit. Keep your pelvis still. Down and up. Down and up. 6 more here. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Oh my gosh. Okay, take out this weight. We're going to go right over to the other side and get that one done. Okay? Right, Tuva. Make any adjustments you need to make. Also, P.S., if putting your head on your arm like I am here is uncomfortable, put a pillow under your head and just bring this bottom arm forward or somewhere else that makes sense for you. I just like the head to be in a comfortable position as you move through this. All right? So this side could be different. Who knows if this weight is going to be right? We'll see. Belly button is pulled in. Quick little spine check, nice and straight. And quick little rib check. Imagine you're lifting your ribs away from the floor, like there's a space to slide your fingers underneath your waist. And 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then come down. I'm going to put the weight behind the knee. I'm going to push my bottom leg down a little bit. Get situated. Top leg movement is isolated. Knee up, knee down. 6 more here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down, switcheroo. Straight spine, lifted ribs, belly is in. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Carefully bring it down, right behind the knee, long spine, up and down. And 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And down. Last set here, you guys. Do something different if you want to get creative with the last set. I should have said that on the other side. 2. If you're someone who likes to pick up the pace, just a quick note here, try not to get sloppy with your alignment. And just always think like, what am I working here? What's the purpose of this situation here? 2 more. Last one. Woo! And then last set with the leg. Nice and long through the spine. Isolating, moving the top leg only. Everything else is nice and still. And 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. All the way down. Okay, put that weight away. Come up to sit. I'm going to use my 8s here. We're going to do a little bit of hip lifting, bridgey type stuff. I'm going to use my 8s. After this, we're going to come on up to stand. So get your 5s out of the way and make sure, and P.S., I'm using 8s, whatever you want to add on or, it's up to you. So I'm coming back onto my back. Heels relatively close to the tush. You can noodle around and find a foot placement that feels right. Make sure your feet, your knees, and your hips are kind of aligned here. And then we're going to roll to the side. Use your abdominals here. Kind of pull your weights in and then roll back. That's kind of what I do. So I don't do any weird things with my shoulders while I'm grabbing these weights. And I'm just gonna bring the weights right to my pelvis, my hip bones, and then pull the feet back into that position. I like to pick my elbows up and slide my shoulders away from my ears. Relax through the neck. Exhale as you bring your hips up. Push through the whole foot. And also just a quick note here. I like a little bit of an adjustment that I've made that helps me to, this feels stronger. It's not a tuck, but imagine you're slightly tucking your pelvis. It lengthens through the back a little bit, the low back, and it helps me to feel this in the glutes a little bit more. When I don't ever so slightly tuck the pelvis, I don't feel like it just doesn't feel like it feels as strong. Okay, so that's just me. Maybe a different cue is right for you. Feel free to move your feet wider or more narrow. And we're doing 5 more here. 5. And 4. And 3. 2. And 1. Come all the way down. Put the weights to the side for a moment. Take a nice deep breath. Okay, now I'm going to walk my feet a little bit wider, and I'm going to turn out my toes a little bit so the toes are out and the heels are slightly in, and my knees will be as wide as my ankles. Okay, so the knees and the ankles are aligned. Hands, you can bring your weights back to your hips. Same thing, so the feet are a little bit wider now. As you bring your hips up, it's an ever so slight tuck or another thing that feels right for you. And we've got 6 more here. 6, try to release tension from your shoulders and your throat. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then come all the way down and just put your weights to the side. Okay? One more variation here. I'm not going to load up for this one because it's not really right. It doesn't feel good for my back. I'm just going to leave my weights to the sides. Those of you that this feels really good and your back is reliably comfortable, you can continue to keep your weights on your hips. We're going to do a little bit of one leg work here, okay? I'm just going to rest my hands on my hips as if I had some weights and walk my feet in a bit closer towards one another. Hips come up about halfway. Again, neck is pretty released, shoulders are pretty released too. Keeping your hips stable. Lift one foot and put it right back down. It's a small movement. And then the other foot, right back down. And lift, right back down. Alternate. 4 more. 4, 4, 3, 2 more. Last set. Feet come down, hips release, okay? Your weights can go out to the sides just a little bit. Walk your feet a hair wider than your hips. Arms just relax. Knees go right. Knees come center and left. Knees right and left. 1 more each way. And then back center. Okay, we're going to make our way up to stand. All the way up. So for the next bit, if you have a chair close by, it's optional to use it. I'm going to use my chair just for squats, so I have a little feedback as I go down and up. So if you want to grab a chair, great. It's not necessary though. And maybe a quick drink of water. This is my chair. So For this first bit, I'm not gonna add any weight. You can feel free to add it right away if you're feeling comfortable and warmed up through the back. So your chair, it can be a regular chair, it can just be right behind you. You can align your feet with the legs of the chair somewhere around there, or just about as wide as your own hips. And then we're just gonna practice sitting back into our chair and then coming back up. This is a squat. Sitting back and returning. See if you can kind of put the work into your whole feet, especially the heels as you come up. And up. Okay, so this is a range of motion. It's not right for everybody, but this is what we should aim for, being able to sit down and get back up again without using our hands. And squatting is sitting down and getting back up again. So this is a great little move to practice. See if you can come up, stand tall, and just give the tush a little bit of a squeeze. We're gonna do 4 more. 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. From here, turn around and face your chair. You can put your palms on the seat of the chair. If you're using a folding chair, just be careful. Bring your left foot towards now would be the left leg of the chair that you're facing, and then your right leg back. And I'm trying to straighten both of my legs at this moment, kind of squaring off my hips. If your legs are tight, just soften your knees, that's okay. And I'm gonna bend my left knee, bringing my right heel towards the ground, and then straighten out again. Bend, and straighten out again. Try to be less reliant on your hands, perhaps, as you move along. 4, and return. 3, and return. 2, and return. 1 more. And return. Now come forward and pause. Try and get your knee right over your foot. And then bring your upper body up. If you're a little too far, you can step in or step out if you need to. Bring your arms east and west out to the sides. Front knee is bent. Lifting through the spine, shoulders relax. Lift and lower your back heel. Lift and lower your back heel. My feet are hip distant. The more narrow you go, the more challenging this will be to balance. And my back foot is looking straight ahead. It's not turned out to the right. 2 more. Toes right, heel in. It's not doing that. Straight ahead. 1 more. Bring your hands back. Switch the feet. Right foot forward, left foot back. Stand a comfortable distance between the width of the feet, and then right and left feet are hip distant. So hips back, legs straight, and then bend. It's good to notice if one calf is a lot tighter than the other. My left calf is always a little bit more shocked by this movement. And then again, you can kind of lessen how much you're using your arms here, rely a little bit more on the work in the legs. 2 more. Again, feet are hip distant apart and my back leg is looking straight ahead. It's not turned out. This time you're going to pause. Keep that front knee bent. Come up with your upper body. Arms wide. Shoulders down. Hips are as squared off as they can be with the wall in front of you, or your shoulders maybe. And lift and lower through the back heel. Lift and lower. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back with your hands. Step both feet back wider than your hips. Reach back, relax your head. Shift your hips right and left. 3 sets here. Right and left. 2 more. And then the last one. Come back to the center. Shift your weight forward. Walk your feet forward. Soften your knees. Come all the way up to stand. Turn yourself around. Come back. Oops, almost fell backward. Everything's fine. You can grab some weights here. We're going to do another set of squats. If you want to load your squats up, you can just hold them right by your sides here. That's a nice idea. I'm just going to keep going just like this. Sitting back. It's not a full sit. It's just a tap and stand. And 2. And 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And 10. Come all the way up. Turn and face your chair one more time. Stand about, I don't know, like 3 or 4 of your own feet away from the chair. So you can comfortably bring your hands again forward and be feet under legs, hands under shoulders. If your legs are tight, your knees are soft, okay? Feet are together or close. The right leg is going to come out behind you nice and straight. Shift your right hand more center and your left arm out to the side. Aim to get your back straight. Aim to keep your right shoulder plugged in. Belly button is prepared. Belly is prepared. Right leg is going to lift and lower. Quick note here. I don't have all my weight in my right hand and I don't have all my weight in my left foot. There is something happening, so I'm trying to get centered here. 4 more. 4. Imagine gravity pulls you up. 3. And 2. And 1. We switch legs. Right leg down. Move your left hand slightly left of center. And your left leg back. Right arm is now out to the side. Straight spine. Belly is in. And lift. And lower. Again, just a reminder, I don't have, be careful here, Stacy. I don't have all my weight in my left hand or my right foot. It's somewhere in the center. I'm trying to not lift that left hip up and down like this, PS. Just trying to keep my hips still as I lift and lower my leg. 4 more. And 3. And 2. Last one. Step in. Soften your knees. Relax your head. Roll up. 1 more set of squats here, guys. We're in the home stretch. Continue to load up with weights if that sounds like a fun idea. We're going to do another set of 10 squats. Come up with an exhale. Give your tissue squeeze each time. Tap and come up. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Come up to stand. Keep your chair exactly where it is and just step away from it a little bit. So there's a little space between you and the chair. Your feet should be in between the legs of the chair, somewhere about there. I'm going to bring my hands to my hips. My left foot, I'm going to cross my body and tap the front leg of the chair and then come out away from it. Crossing the body, tap, and then go away. 5 more. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. And then down. And then we got to do the other side. So stand so your feet are kind of in the center of the legs of the chair. And now the opposite leg goes in and out. In and out. 5. 4. 3. 2. Last one. And then come all the way down. And we're gonna keep the chair where it is. Reach the arms all the way up, hook your thumbs. Reach the fingertips up, relax your chin down a little bit, and do a side-to-side stretch. Breathe. And then back to the center. And I'm gonna end with a roll down and a roll up. So give yourself some space, stand nice and tall, and then roll from the head slowly through the spine. Roll as far as you feel like you should go. Head is heavy with an exhale. And then drive the feet down into the ground and roll up slowly. Head is definitely the absolute last thing up. Shoulders are released. Stand tall. Relax your shoulders. Bring your hands to your waist and give yourself one deep belly breath, not shoulder breath. And then one more for good luck. We did it, you guys. Have an awesome day.